Lilo and Stitch live action. Released on June 13, 2025, largely maintains the heartwarming core and quirky charm of the beloved 2002 animated classic, while making a few notable changes to enhance the realism and emotional depth for a live-action adaptation. Lilo and Stitch live action 2025. Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. We are introduced to Lilo Pelikai Meakialoa, an imaginative and eccentric young girl who is still grappling with the recent loss of her parents. She's a bit of an outcast, often misunderstood by her peers, including her rival, Myrtle Edmonds, and struggling with her emotions, leading to occasional outbursts. She has a deep connection to nature, particularly with the local marine life, often feeding her favorite fish, Pudge, a weekly sandwich. 626, disoriented and injured after being hit by a tourist trolley, ends up at a local animal shelter. The film opens not on a distant planet, but directly on the beautiful, sun-drenched island of Kauai, Hawaii. There, she instantly connects with 626, who cleverly disguises his extra limbs and antennae to resemble a dog. Lilo adopts him, naming him Stitch. Their social worker, Mrs. Kekoa, continues to observe their struggles. One memorable scene involves Nani, Lilo, and Stitch going surfing with David Kavena Capo Dudoit, Nani's kind-hearted friend and love interest. Jumba and Pleakley's attempt to capture Stitch during this outing accidentally puts Lilo in danger, nearly drowning her when Stitch sinks, causing Nani further distress and reinforcing Mrs. Kekoa's concerns. Jumba, enraged, escapes Pleakley and decides to go after Stitch himself with less covert methods, effectively taking on the role of the primary pursuer and antagonist for the latter half of the film, replacing Captain Gantu from the original. She sees Stitch's clear change of heart and behavior, observes the powerful bond he shares with Lilo and Nani, and is informed by Mrs. Kekoa that Lilo legally adopted Stitch from the shelter. Recognizing the true meaning of Ohana, the Grand Councilwoman makes a pivotal decree. Stitch will live out his exile on Earth, and the Pelikai family, now including Stitch, is placed under the protection of the United Galactic Federation, and the threat of separation intensifies. Lilo, distraught, sneaks aboard to rescue Stitch, who has by now fully embraced his newfound empathy and love for Lilo and Nani. Together, they manage to eject Jumba from the ship. The spaceship crashes into the ocean, trapping Lilo and Stitch underwater. Their house, which was destroyed in a previous alien chase sequence, is rebuilt with the help of Jumba, who despite his earlier antagonism, is now part of their extended family, albeit a somewhat grumpy one, and Pleakley, and the resources of the Federation. The Pelikai lives are still quirky, but now they are filled with stability, love, and a newfound sense of belonging in a truly expanded family. The film emphasizes that Ohana extends beyond blood, embracing those who choose to love and care for each other. Stitch, unable to swim, rescues Lilo but seemingly drowns himself, sacrificing his own safety for her. Lilo lives with her older sister and legal guardian, Nani Pelikai Sydney Elizabeth Agudong. Back on shore, Stitch is motionless, but David revives him, jump-starting his lungs in a touching moment. His crime, illegal genetic experimentation, culminating in his latest, most dangerous creation, Experiment 626, voiced again by Chris Sanders. They adopt awkward human disguises and try to covertly capture Stitch, leading to a series of comedic and often disastrous attempts. Jumba, unlike his animated counterpart, remains more of a determined antagonist, not quite finding the same redemption arc, consistently aiming to recapture Stitch and revert him to his destructive programming. He doesn't warm to Earth or Pleakley in the same way. 626 is a creature designed for chaos and destruction, a furry, ugly cute wrecking ball. The Grand Councilwoman Hannah Waddingham orders 626's exile to a desolate asteroid and Jumba's imprisonment. She tries to instill in him a sense of belonging and responsibility, hoping to domesticate his destructive tendencies. Stitch, initially using Lilo as a shield from his alien pursuers, as Jumba and Pleakley are forbidden from harming humans, slowly begins to understand and reciprocate Lilo's unconditional love. However, 626, living up to his destructive nature, escapes, hijacking a spaceship and crash-landing on Earth, specifically on Kauai. Nani, having sacrificed her own dreams of studying marine biology, is working tirelessly to keep their family afloat, juggling multiple low-wage tourism jobs and the immense pressure of raising Lilo alone. Their struggle is palpable, amplified by the constant scrutiny of Mrs. Kekoa Tia Carrere, a sympathetic but firm social worker who is assessing Nani's ability to care for Lilo. The threat of Lilo being placed in foster care looms heavily over their lives. Meanwhile, high above Earth, on the planet Toro, the brilliant but morally ambiguous alien scientist Dr. Jumba Jakiba Zak Galifianakis is on trial before the United Galactic Federation. The crash is witnessed by Lilo, who makes a wish on what she believes is a shooting star, hoping for a true friend. Desperate for a friend, and encouraged by their kind neighbor, Tutu Amy Hill, Lilo visits the shelter with Nani. Stitch's arrival immediately compounds Nani's stress. His destructive, chaotic impulses cause havoc at home and repeatedly sabotage Nani's efforts to find and keep jobs. Jumba and Agent Pleakley Billy Magnuson, a quirky, one-eyed Earth expert, are dispatched by the Grand Councilwoman to retrieve Stitch. The chase sequences are integrated into the Pellicade daily life. As the pressure mounts, and after Stitch's antics lead to Nani losing another job, Lilo attempts to teach Stitch about Ohana. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. The Grand Councilwoman, frustrated by Jumba and Pleakley's repeated failures, revokes Jumba's deal and orders Pleakley to bring him back to prison. The climax arrives when Jumba, using a portal-generating gun, manages to take Stitch aboard his spaceship. Nani and David rush to rescue Lilo, and Nani heroically swims back down to retrieve Stitch from the ocean floor. Just as the family is reunited, the Grand Councilwoman arrives herself to assess the situation. The film ends with Lilo, Nani, and Stitch fully forming their unique Ohana.